In this video, I'm going to go over how to graph a perpendicular line if you're given the line, one line itself and another point. So if I take a look at the problem that I have my graph, I have line M graphed right here, and I'm being asked to find the equation of line M, the slope of a line that would be perpendicular to line M, and then also to now graph and find the equation of a line that would go through point 0, 0 and be perpendicular to line M. So to start off with finding the equation for this line, I'm always going to start off by finding what the y-intercept is. So I'm going to find y-intercept, and I'm also going to find my slope, which is, I know, rise over run. So in order to find the y-intercept of this graph, I'm going to where this line crosses the y-axis. If your axes aren't labeled, go ahead and label those yourself. And I notice that right here, my line crosses the y-axis at point 2. So I'm going to label my y-intercept as 2. And in order to find my slope, I need to do rise over run, but I actually need a second point in order to be able to do that. So I'm just scanning my line, and I notice that it does cross a point right here. So I'm going to place a point, and then now I'm going to go ahead and count my rise over run. So I'm going to start at the point that's on the leftmost side. Reminder that you're always going from left to right, the same way as if you were reading a book. So I'm going to go rise of 2, and then I'm going to do a run of 1, 2, 3. So I did 2 over 3. So this is my slope. And just as a reminder, y-intercept in our equation is b, slope in our equation is m, and we know that our equations are always written in the format of y equals mx plus b. So in this problem, the only things that I'm replacing are going to be the m and the b. So right now my equation is y equals 2/3 x plus 2. And I can also check my line is moving up, so I know that I have a positive slope. This looks good so far. Now, in order to find the slope of a perpendicular line, this is where we learned our new vocab term, and that vocab term was negative reciprocal. So I'm just jotting that down here just so I get familiarity with that word. And the negative reciprocal breaks down into 2 steps. One, you're going to take the original slope and you're going to flip the numerator and denominator of the fraction. So that means I'm going to just flip the 2 and the 3 so that I have 3 on top and I have 2 on the bottom. And then the negative part just means I'm going to flip the sign. So in this case, my slope was positive. If I want to flip that sign, I'm going to make it now negative. So the slope of a perpendicular line is going to be negative 3 over 2. Now I'm moving on to my last step. I need to graph at the equation of a perpendicular line that goes through this point 0, 0. So the first thing that I need to do is actually graph that point. 0, 0 is right here at my origin. So I'm graphing that point. And now in order to actually get a line from that, I need to come back to what my slope was. My slope is negative 3 over 2. And I have 2 reminders about this. I know that because this is a negative slope, my line is going to go down this way. So when I go from left to right, it's going to move down my page. The other thing that I always think about is I apply the negative to the first number that's there. So negative 3 actually means I'm going to start at my point and I'm going to go down for my rise instead of going up. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 points going down. And then I'm going to go over 2. I'm going to go 1, 2. And I can plot a second point there. I like to be a little extra careful and just have a third point. So I'm going to do this all one more time. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go over 1, 2. I'm going to plot a second point. And right now I can take my ruler and I can go ahead and graph that line. And I can tell right now that these are going to be perpendicular. I'm going to draw in my right angle symbol. So now I've graphed that line, and my last step is just to make sure that I write down my equation. So here I know that I'm going to have y equals My m we already found. We found that to be negative 3 over 2. That's our slope, right? We were going down 3 over 2. So y equals negative 3 over 2. And now I need my negative 3 over 2x, and I need my plus b, which is my y-intercept. In this problem, my line only crosses the y-axis right here at 0. So I would have a plus 0, which in this case I can just leave as is. So my equation of my perpendicular line is y equals negative 3 over 2x. And now you're done.